What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. And folks, I am attempting to assemble the greatest Charmander collection in the world. Kind of. So as a little bit of context to this video, about a year ago I found myself with like 8 or 9 base set Charmander artworks, all graded PSA 10, but they were all different. Now whether they were from different sets or different languages, they all had one thing in common, and that was this picture right there. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be kind of awesome to maybe collect every single base set Charmander artwork, regardless of what set it's from, what language it is? I mean, how many cards would that be exactly? How many times was this base set Charmander printed? Turns out quite a lot. So today I will be showing you my base set Charmander collection. All of these cards are graded PSA 10. And they are quite challenging to obtain, a lot of them anyway. And then hopefully at the very end, after I've shown you all these cards and told you which ones that I still need, that maybe some of you can give me a hand or point me in the right direction to some of these cards that I haven't obtained yet, so maybe I can actually complete this collection. So let's take a look at a bunch of base set Charmander arts. Alright, before we dive into the Charmander collection, I want to show you 2 cards that are for sale on my Instagram at ttpcollectibles. If you are interested in any of these 2 cards, or both, hit me up on there. Here we have a non-holo Mewtwo from Expedition, graded a PSA 10. Absolutely phenomenal artwork. Actually, it's my favorite Mewtwo artwork of all time. It's a shame it's not a holo, but still, it is for a very good deal. All of the cards I sell are for the best deal possible, so don't you worry about that. But this will be for sale on my Instagram, along with this little number. This is a very low pop Neo Genesis first edition holo. It is the Skarmory, graded a PSA 10, and it is just a beauty. Like, perfectly centered. Edges are super clean. This is definitely a PSA 10 if I've ever seen one. Once again, I think this is a pop 40 something PSA 10 card, so very low pop. I think mine on eBay is the only one listed for sale. And yeah, it's not much else to say. If you're looking for a very inexpensive PSA 10 first edition Skarmory, look on my Instagram at ttpcollectibles, shoot me a message, and we will work out a deal. All right, on to the base set Charmander collection, starting off with this Japanese base set Charmander. This one here is a run-of-the-mill Japanese Charmander from base set. As you can see, it has the common rarity symbol down there, and the one that I am lacking is the no rarity symbol Japanese base set Charmander, but these are all going to be in PSA 10, so such an iconic card right there. Very, very strong copy. So we have that, and then we have the first edition Shadowless base set Charmander. This is definitely a unique card on account of the font is different from the rest. You got the first edition stamp there, and I actually updated the label of this card. It was the old school like hologram label, but I sent this in to be reholdered, and yeah, looks phenomenal. And then we have the Shadowless variant in PSA 10. Definitely not quite as desirable as the first edition, but still has all the trimmings of the Shadowless characteristics, much like this one. And then we have the base set Unlimited Charmander. Definitely one of this is probably the most graded copy you will see today. Now granted, the first edition and Shadowless also have a handful of graded copies, but this one is probably by far the most graded base set Charmander ever, as it is the Unlimited version. And then here we have the base set 1999 to 2000 variant, which as right down there it says 1999 to 2000, whereas on the other ones it just says 1999. So this is also considered the 4th print of base set. A little bit more expensive than the Unlimited copy, but not too bad to get your hands on a card like this. And then last but not least, for English, we have the base 2 Charmander in PSA 10. And if you take a look, it looks like the coloring is a little bit different. Maybe hard to tell on the camera here, but it seems like the red in the background here is a little bit more bolder than the rest. Base 2 definitely had some awesome coloration, and the holos from Base 2 were also arguably better. But yeah, there you go. First edition, Shadowless, Unlimited, 4th print, and then the Base 2 copies right there. Alright, now we're going to be getting into some other languages other than English and Japanese. Here we have a first edition Glumanda. This is the German Charmander variant with the 50 KP right there instead of HP. Now we have the first edition Spanish Charmander with the 50 PI hit points. And then we have the first edition French, or Salamech, with the 50 PV there. So those are a little bit different. And then I also have the unlimited French Charmander here in PSA 10 and the unlimited Spanish Charmander. So I am missing the unlimited German copy. If anybody has one of them lying around, let me know. So yeah, these are the most common of the other languages that I've seen come through in auction. Other than, of course, English and Japanese, these three right here, the French, German, and Spanish, seem to be the second most common in terms of grouping. And then here is where we're going to get into some low pop Charmander cards in other languages. Here we have a first edition Portuguese base set Charmander that I recently obtained, along with this unlimited Portuguese Charmander. This one in particular was very low pop at the time. When I had bought this card, it was a pop 5 PSA 10. I actually bought 2, but I ended up selling the 1. So yeah, there's the first edition Portuguese and the unlimited Portuguese variants. And then here we have an unlimited Korean and an unlimited Chinese Charmander. So both of these PSA 10. I am missing the first edition Korean and the first edition Chinese Charmander. I really don't see the first edition Korean come by, but I have seen a few first edition Chinese copies come by. It was going for like $800 some. It has since come down in price in the past year or so, but it's still a relatively expensive card. So if anybody knows of a first edition Korean or Chinese base set Charmander, let me know. So I think other than these languages, I also need the Italian Charmanders and the Dutch versions as well. I think those are the only other languages that I am missing in both Unlimited and First Edition. And then on to Legendary Collection, printed back in 2002. This one right here is a very inexpensive copy. It is the non-holo Charmander from Legendary Collection. And then here, check this out, folks. This is a very recent purchase. Oh yeah, look at that. The reverse holo Charmander from Legendary Collection. Just, I mean, a reverse holo that is unparalleled to any other set. Very, very hard to get your hands on this kind of card right here. The fireworks holo is just out of this world, eye-catching. This is the first reverse holo card I've seen from Legendary Collection up close and personal, and it is certainly a sight to behold. So yeah, definitely an awesome addition to the Charmander collection. And last but not least, we have the modern day variants. Here we have the most inexpensive one of them all. It is the non-holo Charmander from Evolutions. I think I bought this like maybe 2 years ago, and I still, even 2 years ago, when Pokemon was still pretty hyped up, I bought this card for like $11, the PSA 10. And believe it or not, before that, people were paying like well over $100 for this card as a PSA 10, which is nuts. And then we have the reverse holo from Evolutions. Definitely doesn't hit quite as hard as the Legendary Collection reverse holo, as you can see right there. This one's definitely a little bit duller than this explosive fireworks variant. But yeah, we have the Evolutions Charmanders there, along with the Japanese 20th anniversary Charmander. This is a CP6 copy, and they did a really good job of making this card resemble the Japanese base set Charmander. I think it was the gold borders that they did just right. So this card looks very similar to the Japanese base set Charmander. And then one of my favorite base set Charmanders, this right here. This is the Toys R Us Cosmos promo card, and just look at that. Look at that Cosmos. Look at that swirl right there. Swirl up there. There's just so much going on with this holo pattern. They did it just right. I'm trying to catch the swirl down here. It's a little bit tougher to see. There it is. You can see that. So yeah, I think these two right here, and it's probably just my love for shiny cardboard, these are probably my two favorite base set Charmander arts right here in Legendary Collection and the Toys R Us Evolutions promo. What do y'all think? Are these two your favorite as well? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, folks. I really appreciate it. Hit me up on Instagram if you were interested in any of those cards I had for sale, or if you happen to know where I can get a PSA 10 Charmander that was not in this video. I would appreciate that as well. That's all I got for you, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll catch you all in my next one.